This video is for everybody out there who, you know, wants a voice, or who needs a voice, or who's struggling, to find a voice for themselves. My name is Philip Hudson, and I wouldn't say battling, but it's kind of a struggle for me to recognize that the holidays are coming up, and you have to be by yourself because certain family members that you have don't love you or accept you for who you are, or for what you want to be, or for the person that you're trying to become. And you find yourself crying at night. You find yourself waking up thinking that you have a missed phone call from a family member that you've never heard of or heard from in a long time. I'm 23, and I've just been kind of on my own since I was 13. And for people who may know me, may believe it's been peaches and cream, and my parents are the pastors. No, it hasn't always been peachy clean, and it hasn't always been what you guys may see it as. I am partly Jamaican. Both my parents come from a culture that I'm not accepted. I'm not tolerated. I am the fag of the family. I am the black sheep. I'm the one that nobody wants to talk to, nobody wants to call, nobody wants their kids around because of my sexuality and because of the person that I've become. And at 23 years old, I'm just a little bit confused on, my life. Just where I was supposed to be, where I'm supposed to end up. I haven't spoken to my father in years. We don't speak. My mom, our conversation has got to the point where nothing's discussed. She's my mother, and like every mother who has a child, it's her obligation and her duty to God to make sure that her child is, okay. But emotionally stable and emotionally correct is not always the forefront of conversation. I know a lot of people out there, watch me, and they put me on a pedestal, and they see me successful, and they see me, working and really doing what I have to do for myself. But you guys, it's hard. It's not easy. I don't know what it is like to have a normal shopping experience. I don't have, direct family members that I can call and, talk to about, sexual issues or just things that people struggle with. I have a very great support system. I have great friends. I have great, very, very great friends who encourage me, who motivate me, but I don't have the people who gave birth to me. And I sit here and, I let my emotions out and I show this side of me because I don't think people have gotten a chance to see this side of me. People only see, the tall, fabulous person. But you guys, I want everybody to know it's going to get better. I promise you. If you ever, think about doing something or, suicide, I've tried to commit suicide 30 times and I'm still here for a reason. So, it's a struggle that you have to keep fighting. You can't stop the struggle because you feel this is it. Even for parents out there who have children who are going through specific things and who have, questions or, you don't have answers to. And, even for the parents who think that, their child is not worthy enough to be something great. Fuck all y'all, because we are. Like, I'm standing here, I'm, sitting here at a point where I'm not crying because I want to hurt myself, or I'm not crying because I I want pity from people. I'm crying because the emotion is real. You know, when you go through something in life and you go through something that only you can go through. Nobody else can go through what you go through. Only you can go through what you go through. And for me to be sitting here and telling you guys that it gets better, you know, there is, you know, tomorrow the sun will come out. You know, if you choose to get in your car or pull a trigger or stab yourself or burn yourself, then you don't see the sun. But for me, my hope is that the sun, you know, comes out tomorrow. And I just want everybody to keep their head up. I want everybody to stay strong. I'm going to stay strong for everybody out there. I'm going to stay positive. I know I'm a little bit crazy at times, and a lot of people have not seen the side of me, but it gets better. Celebrities preach on how it gets better, but you don't see any celebrity is vulnerable to tell a story of how they were molested or how they were raped or how they were abandoned by family emotionally. Just because you live in a big house with big cars and, you know, you go to the best schools does not make you okay. Like, you know, it doesn't. It makes you adjust to what's provided, but, you know, emotionally you have to grow up and always wonder, you know, what is it like? You know, what is it like to have a normal experience? What is it like to be able to walk somewhere and not be called fag? What is it like to have, you know, a day where you can just, you know, hang out with straight people and not think that they're trying to hit on you, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the stereotype that we all have to live with. But my stereotype, you know, it came from my household. You know, my father is a Jamaican, very spiritual, religious pastor, and was the first person to call me a faggot. I didn't have to hear it from the streets. Maybe if I heard it from the streets, I would be a little bit more resistant. You know, maybe if my father was like, you know what, you are who you are, but I still love you, maybe I wouldn't be in the, you know, in the emotional state that I am now. You know, maybe I would be able to call him and talk to him. And, you know, I see so many people have the abilities to call their parents and just to hear their voice, or to call to check up. Just, do you have food? Have you eaten? How's school? When you don't have that from both parents, you know, of course your mother is obligated to do that, but when you don't have that from both parents and you were raised by both parents and you see your other two brothers growing up and having a relationship with those both parents and you're the only one left out, you guys, it's a struggle. I do this video to say it's going to get better. You guys, I promise you, on anything that I love, it's going to get better. I'm not going to commit suicide. I'm not going to give in to what, you know, the America wants me to do. Because believe it or not, there are a lot of people out there who praise when fags kill themselves. They praise it. They, you know, they make comments. They should have been dead anyway. But this is one fag. I promise you that I will keep fighting. I will keep, you know, speaking out, giving voices to people who don't have a voice. Because although I'm crying and I'm an emotional mess right now, that still does not negate the fact that I'm a powerful force to be reckoned with. 23 years, you know, 10 years of pretty much raising myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gets better, you guys. I love everybody. I promise that I will keep you guys updated with what's going on with me. You know, funnier videos to come. It's not going to be all tears and, you know, wash face. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be, I'm funny. Everybody who knows me knows I like to make people laugh. I'm very selfless. Sometimes I give my last just to see somebody else happy. So if I have to give my last breath to see you guys out there happy, then that's what I'm going to do. But until then, I love everybody. Thank you for your support. Thank you for everything that you guys have done. The prayers, the emails, the tweets, the texts, the Facebook messages. I love all of you. And, you know, I'm not someone who is vulnerable enough to allow someone to call me a fag and take that sitting down. Maybe 10 years ago, yes, but 10 years later, I'm someone totally different. You know, I'm just a mess. Anybody who has been through what I have been through will be a mess. You know, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't think that you have to put on a face. It is, you know, 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm in tears. I'm crying. And you can't take the hurt away. You can't. Time will heal. That's all I can say, you guys. Time will heal. But until next time, bye, guys.